you don't want to get to the point where you are totally dependent on somebody else. Because what I don't want to happen is that significant other, this person that's really doing everything for you, for something to happen to them, and your world comes crashing down. Welcome, families, to the Bacon Bits Podcast, where we desire for you to take the bits of information and immediately apply them to your life for success. The ground rules for our podcast is that it will always be encouraging, uplifting, and informative. The areas of life that we will be talking about on the Bacon Bits Podcast is dealing with having a balanced life. Y'all know I need to hear you say it. Say it out loud. I don't care if you're in the car or if you're next door to somebody or whatever. I want you to say it out loud. Say valuable information apply equals success. What's up, family? And what I wanted to talk about, because we're approaching Independence Day. So what I want to ask you is, are you independent or codependent? And that's the topic we're going to be talking about today. What's some of the differences of us who are codependent? No, I'm not codependent. I'm just referring and saying that out loud. But what is the difference between independent and being codependent? Because you want to get to the point in your life, guess where you are interdependent. That guess what? We need each other. Not that, guess what, we have to have each other or we can't live life without each other. But guess what? You want to intermingle with people. So guess what? You can bring out the best in each other. And that's where we want to get. But do you feel like you have to do everything solo? Because nothing ain't gonna never get right if I don't do it. Or are you, I can't live life without this person, and if they leave me, I'm going to die. I'm going to kill myself. What in the world is happening here? Slow down and let's talk about this. Codependency. What are some of the traits of being codependent? Feeling responsible for solving other people's problems. That's a lot of pressure, yo. That's a lot of pressure. Feeling responsible for solving other people's problems. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not your job. It's not. Because what's going to end up happening is that person is going to see you like, I call it a baby Jesus, and they're going to want you to solve all their problems. Now, sometimes we get a ego kick out of being that, valuable to somebody. At least we think we are. But you will get to the point where it will be super freaking annoying knowing that somebody has to wait for you to get all of their answers in life. Now, if you want to see some people that's still stuck in the house with their parents because the parents didn't do a wonderful job in helping their child, enjoy life, help them in their teen years to make some great decisions, for them to fall and be there as support, but actually keep encouraging them to make good decisions? Or will you, make all the decisions for them? And then when they're, later on in life, we're talking about 30s, 40s, and they're still living with you. I think maybe you didn't do a good enough job in releasing them to be in the world. So you don't want to feel responsible for solving all your baby's problems. I don't want your babies to become codependent. Another great trait, and it's not actually a great trait, is offering advice even when it isn't asked for. Part of being codependent is always feeling like, guess what? It's not that you always have to have that person be there for the answers. You feel like you got to always give the answers. That's not what we want. Poor communication regarding your feelings, wants, and needs. Because the other person knows you so well, then guess what? They always want to help you out and make you feel good and be there for you. And like I said, sometimes we have superhero syndrome, and superhero syndrome is wanting to solve the problems and issues for everybody. Part of that is codependency, because we feel like we always got to solve and help the other person out. That's not what we ought to be doing. We ought to be helping them make sound decisions. They don't want to come to you because they need you for every little bit. Being codependent is I can't go nowhere without you. I need you to do everything for me. I need you to fill out all my paperwork at my jobs and fill my resume out. And I need you to fill out my insurance papers at the hospital. And I need you to do my taxes for me. And you don't want that, man. You don't want to get to the point where you are totally dependent on somebody else. Because what I don't want to happen is that significant other, this person that's really doing everything for you, for something to happen to them, and your world comes crashing down. And I see it a lot, where one person was totally dependent on the other person, and then something drastically happened to that person, whether, death or a illness or something of that matter, where they were totally dependent on the other person. And when something happened to that person, their life came crashing down. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know where to go. They didn't know where to turn. And that's because they had no foundation of why they were the way they were and what they needed to do. So being codependent is a huge one, man. You got to be careful of, guess what? I don't want to be dependent on somebody all the time. But then you also don't want to be super independent, because super independent has gotten us in a lot of trouble because we won't ask for help. That's where independence can get in the way. I know I need help, but I'm allowing my ego and my pride to stop me from asking for help. This is why this is super important for us to get to this point where we say, you know what, I do not know what I'm doing in this area. Because you can be sweet in other areas. I believe that. I believe everybody on this planet is sweet in some areas. But there are some areas we just don't know what to do. Guess what? Let me stop with my pride and ego. Stop being independent and saying, you know what? Let me reach out and ask for some help. I don't know how to do my finances. I wasn't raised, learn how to handle a checkbook or a debit card or credit card, knowing what a credit score was. Let me reach out to somebody and ask for some help. I've never seen healthy relationships, so I don't know how to handle relationships. Guess what? Let's reach out to somebody that's in healthy relationships and ask for some help. I don't know how. I've never, went on a diet plan. I've never had a workout routine. I've never eaten right. I've just eaten whatever is in front of me. I had to learn how to discipline myself, and I don't know how to do that. Let me reach out to somebody and ask for some help. Super important. I got all this anxiety. I got all this depression. And guess what? I might be clinically diagnosed as being depressive, or I've had this anxiety. Can I reach out to some professionals and ask for some help? Life is taking turns for the worse, and I don't know what to do. Can I reach out to somebody that has spiritual wisdom and knowledge, discernment and understanding about life, and ask them for some help, because I don't know what to do? That's huge. I don't know how to grieve. I'm so used to grabbing this bottle, grabbing these pills, grabbing this cocaine, grabbing spending money that I don't have, because I've never learned how to grieve. It's all right to reach out for some help and get some help and ask somebody for some advice on how to grieve. Not saying that their thing is going to be perfect, but it's also good to know that I need to reach out and get some help. So being codependent, not good. Just being independent, it's not good. Being interdependent, where we use each other and help each other be the best that we can be, yes, that's what we need in life. That's how we're going to function at our highest capacity, is to be interdependent upon each other as we climb this wonderful ladder of life and help us grow to be the best that we can possibly be. So, not codependent. Just came out of being independent, but we want to be interdependent. This is your boy John Bacon with another segment of Bacon Bits. Do your thing, ladies and gentlemen. We love you. God bless. All right, what's up, family? It's your boy John Bacon from the Bacon Bits podcast. Thank you so much for your support, likes, and ratings. Please don't just listen, but rate me, follow me, and subscribe. This is an amazing way to offer free support My beautiful queen and I have some books that we have written for your growth.
So the first book we have is a workbook, actually. It's called Healthy Relationships, and this is a workbook through the lens of faith. Because what makes a relationship healthy or unhealthy? So this workbook is designed, it's a 12-week, it's a biblically grounded course, and every week has a few different principles. So if some of our principles, some of our topics that we're covering are respect, cultivating security. And this is not just between a husband and wife. This is between parents, between siblings, between friends, between your bosses, employers. So it's really important, and everyone deserves a healthy relationship.
And also we have The Balanced Life by John Bacon. It covers how to be prosperous in your finances, relationships, your health, your mind, and your spirit. So you can pick that up on Amazon, also on audiobook. And we also have
The Unraveling, a creative healing journal, pinings, poems, prayers, and ponderings of my precarious life. I've had a testimony of, I've had 2 brain tumors and 2 brain surgeries, and I'm super grateful, but I'm still grieving the process of healing. And this is part of the process. In this book, you have devotionals, you have prayers, and you have some ponderings. And in between these pages, there's a space for you to also be prompted to paint and to create your own, or maybe you want to write something in these books. This is part of your creative healing journal that we get to walk through together.
And you guys can just head over to Kingdom Servants First. Kingdom Servants, the number 1, ST.com. And you can purchase all 3 of these books. Thank you for your support, your love, and your contributions. God bless.